What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back
to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need, but you deserve. And where all levels of nerd are welcome. Wow, I don't know. I haven't said that in a long time because we don't say that on our stream. So here we are.
It's been a while.
Welcome back to the future.
What do we do here?
Go back, Marty.
What's funny is I went lost. We have to go back, Kate.
Oh yeah. You know, Evangeline Lilly just did an interview. She's like, I hated Kate by the end of that show. Yeah, I get it.
I did too. It took
started out
me
as this badass female doing her own thing, and she goes in bed like season 3 or 4. I was just some girl chasing 2 guys around an island.
Yeah, no, there was that. I used to really not be a fan of Evangeline Lilly because of her character, and I'm pretty sure she had done stuff before Lost, but like I only knew her from Lost.
Right. It
Might have been her
happens a lot of
breakout.
time.
Yeah, so when she started doing other things, I was like, oh, yeah, but she has gone on to do better things, and
She's doing fine. I think
she's doing fine. What are we doing here? What's happening?
An episode.
You
know what I wore?
We're here to get our nerd
wait,
on.
I wore this just for tonight.
Hey, merch that doesn't exist anymore. It's special edition.
Yeah.
Wore it just to get back in. Now I feel like a director. Like now,
I'm
doesn't
wearing my dark side shirt because I'm readying the Armada.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure this is what Tom does on set.
Do I do that?
Yeah.
Is that what I do?
I should have asked this question before we started recording, but now I'm just curious, and it doesn't even matter. Why are you wearing the Mobius instead of the LCD ones?
Oh, because I didn't hook him up.
Okay, cool. No, I was just curious.
Baby.
No, no, I was just like,
so much did a 2-day shoot, two sketch shoot yesterday. I got nothing. I got no time.
Shout out to our partners, Odyssey.
Barely had time to set this up.
So we're coming at your ears and your eyeballs. We're recording an episode, and we told ourselves when we started to record this episode, or when we were talking about coming back, we were not going to put any sort of like expectation on ourselves of
like what headphones we'll wear.
What headphones?
Like that.
I'm just curious. I was just curious. I refuse to take your crap right now.
That's fair.
And
yeah, we wanted to come back.
There might be a few times where we say at the time of this recording, I'll be real, because this could come out in a couple of days. It could come out in a week, but
who knows?
This is we actually recorded this in March. Shortly after we said we were going to be off the air.
I was going to say,
we just decided
we recorded
to
it before.
we recorded this a week after my child was born.
Before we knew we were going to take a break, and it's going to come out insert time.
Yeah, exactly. So we've been off since April. April 9th was when we told Airbuddy that we were going to take a break. And we've been out there living our lives.
Still been doing our update.
Yes, we have been streaming on the Twitch. We are in post-production for the film that we said we were going to make. It's really good. It's really good. At the time of this recording, I sent Tom.
At the time of this recording, it's good. It could be shit by the time it comes out.
Wow. What else? I know that everybody's been doing. Corey has a baby. And it's not just now it's not just like a thing that you can just like put in your pocket. Now it's like,
no, she got jokes now. She's like old enough. It's crazy.
She has her own Instagram account.
She got her first magic card the other day.
Wow.
So it's a big deal.
We're recording on new things now.
We are. We have a super big announcement. So I will just say that
get into it,
real quick, the hiatus, like Tom said, we all started talking over the past, I think for the past 2 to 3 months, where it's like, I think we're starting to get the itch. We really need to do this, because this is something that we like doing this. We love doing this. Imagine
Imagine
House of Dragons. No, That's a really long title for a show. Anyway, so
That's
we
what
are.
I named my dragon deck, by the way, because it's all tokens. You have to use your imagination a little bit. Imagine dragons.
Do you play that song on your like one of their songs?
I should.
You should. Like when you
As
pull
I'm
it
shuffling
out.
up.
Yeah.
I should just.
That's how we're gonna know that you're pulling out that deck. So yeah, some new things are happening. We have a new partnership to talk about.
Yes, yes.
Very excited about this, but we are now partnered with Focusrite. Focusrite is, I mean, in my opinion, I think they are one of the leading examples of audio interfaces in the market. And especially for somebody like me who is an audio mixer and a voice actor, Focusrite comes up in the conversation a lot, especially for voice actors. But they have a new product out called the Vocaster. They have the Vocaster 1 and the Vocaster 2. And they really they want to say hello to the podcast market, the voiceover market, the streaming market. So you'll hear this on our streams. But to celebrate that, we are actually doing a giveaway. And if you are looking
new
at
episode and a giveaway, what else?
What? Yeah. So Focusrite was like, hey, what if we like celebrate this and have a giveaway? This was their idea. I mean, this is pretty cool. If you go to focusrite.com/nerdon, that is the link for the giveaway, and a single winner within the United States. I will say that was like a stipulation within the United States, gets to choose whether they want a Vocaster 1 or a Vocaster 2. Can't have both, but you can have one or the other. So that's pretty cool.
Not TOO.
No, yeah, okay. not TOO.
The numero.
Yeah. If we look at
a Vocaster and a Vocaster 2.
Wow.
Or.
Yeah. It is an either or. Our friend Dan over there has said they will choose the winner and send it on out. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Very exciting. If you are watching the video, you can see this really cool image that I put together, and it's a really sexy interface. It looks real good on my desk, I will just say. And it sounds wonderful, and it's super easy to use.
Like a dummy like me figured out how to use it, and I don't even know what an XLR even means.
Wow. Do you like, I mean, like, I'm actually serious. Like, was it pretty plug and play for you? Like, was it easy for you guys to set up?
I opened the box and I looked at the holes, and I was like, I'm not familiar with holes.
But I do know what an XLR is.
And then
Joke's on you, I do know.
And then I plugged the thing that looked like that would go into that thing, and then I was like, let me see what it, and I was like, oh, there's an on button. And I was like, okay, there's lights going on, that means there's power. And then Josh was like, okay, let me tell you how you really use it. I'm like, for show.
Yeah, there were levels of usage.
Yeah, I may
if you want to get started, it's plug and play, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they include everything that you need to know. Where I'm admittedly a power user where I want to find out everything that it possibly can do. So I had to have Dan send me like the super secret articles of like, okay, this is how you do this. Not everybody needs to do this. But yeah,
you need that Howlin' Ray's sauce for the back. That's what you needed.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can't even imagine. I had medium. And I was like, I'm starting to go numb in some places in my mouth, but I want to try the hottest.
Extra hot. It's
a good time.
We're
giving it away, baby.
Yeah, we're giving it away.
I opened one in Pasadena, by the way.
I know. Over the past few days. But yes, so go to that link, focusrite.com/nerdon. But yeah, kind of moving forward. This is our first episode back. We decided to put some kind of stipulations on ourselves because we have a really bad habit of being like, hey, let's do this, and then let's do it like a lot. and make like a lot of things. So we're going to start with this episode.
We go, let's make everyone happy except us.
Yeah, exactly.
But also it's been a while, as we said, and we haven't heard from y'all. We've heard from y'all in some
I'm going to
senses,
listen to that song when this episode is done.
and y'all maybe have not heard from us because some of y'all only listen to us on the podcast app. Y'all don't follow us on the Twitch or the YouTube or the Instagram or the Twitter, which you should be doing though.
Wow.
And if
but
you
also no pressure, but also
no pressure. But if I know who you are and I find you one day, I will.
Did he?
I'll say hi. But
I was gonna say, is he ambiguously like threatening our audience?
No,
No,
he said I'll say hi.
Yeah, no,
yeah. Oh,
no.
he's shaking. He's nodding. I don't. Oh no. Oh no. There's violence. No.
But yeah, we're all just catching up. We're playing some tea time. We're just gonna see, what we've been up to. What we've been getting nerd on about.
Yeah.
Over 8 months. What's been giving us a raging nerd on?
Yeah.
And
y'all could have had a
good
kid
stuff.
by this time.
Yeah, we could have had a whole other kid. Almost. Yeah, we keep actually saying that Juniper's almost been out as long as she was in, and we're creeping up on that time.
That's an
Another
interesting.
couple weeks. Yeah.
Wow. It's one of those like there's a moment you realize your parents put you down and never put you back up.
Yeah.
It's one
So
of those
you
like,
say that, except my parents pick me up still because I cry at night and I need comfort.
I need
like 90
to
pounds.
when we're getting into the swing of things and doing this show a little bit more. I'll start working in sound effects because I think that there are some things that call for some sound effects.
Some wet farts.
Yeah. I don't know if I will ever be able to.
Like, Tom and I both went to terrible places. You're like, I want to work in sound effects. I'm like, boner alert, wet farts.
Using some coins, some swings, and
One clown horn would be auga.
Yeah,
great.
yeah. Wow.
And
Tom just wants a good something like that.
So we're here to tell you what we've been filling our time with. No work stuff, but what have we been doing to keep our nerdness sharpened, our nerd wits clean?
Wait. I'm so sorry. I just realized something that we didn't, because this is like a very obvious thing that if you are watching the video, you are going to see that we are in our remote template, our remote episode look. We did decide that we want to come back and we want to be able to make this show the very best. Like that's always going to be our goal, but we have to do it in a way that allows us
feasible.
That's feasible because everybody has. We laugh that it's been 7 to 8 months, but all of our lives, including Caitlin's, have changed.
There's not even
moment.
Room to record.
Yeah.
At the old Nerd on HQ anymore.
Exactly. I have a booth. I have a voiceover booth now. So
hey, I have a booth. I have a voiceover booth.
That's funny. But
there's no way.
For all you audio listeners who was not watching the video, did you notice? Did you even know?
No, there's
y'all
no
didn't even
possible
know.
way.
Yeah.
They might have known. I don't know.
They probably did. I mean, these are a lot more bassier. We're trying to remove any sort of post-production or workflow so that we can make these and just like not even feel like pressure about it. Before we had a lot of rules and stipulations on ourselves and a lot of systems, and it took weeks to do one episode sometimes, and that's why we would record so many in one day and blah blah blah. Long boring story. We're doing it this way so that we can do more possibly in the future and do it well. But
come
anyway,
along, take our hands. Let's all go to Dragonland.
So
Corey,
what's
Corey? What were you saying?
Imagine dragons.
It's too bad it's copyright. I play it right now.
so we're talking about what we've been nerding on about in these last 8 months, catching
Movies,
up.
TV show, comics.
We want to hear what you guys have been nerding on about. Josh, talk to us. Tell us what has been filling your time, filling your cup, buttering your biscuits, not grinding your gears.
Well, I mean, I think we all have one thing in common that we've been nerding out about over the last pandemic, which I could not be happier to finally share with you guys on this level.
Oh, I know where he's going with this.
Magic the Gathering.
Jelly donut. Oh,
yep.
We have all gotten into command. I believe Tom started a trickle effect throughout. Look, guys, I'm so happy right now.
I have a
haven't had friends who
commander.
played Magic. I haven't had friends who played Magic in LA since I moved here 10 years ago this October, except for shout out to Kyle, KP Robbins, the professor.
The professor.
Is like the only guy in LA who would like play with me regularly. And then one day Tom's like, been playing Magic at the warehouse. I was like, oh, more people.
He saw somebody do a line of coke and he was like, man, I wonder how that feels.
And then we got some people from Storyboard and we got Josh in. And now we're all
Corey, I feel like
here.
Corey, trigger warning. I am the disease. I like infected everyone. I was just
Kind
like,
of.
No.
Kind of. Well, because I mean,
You cured everyone.
he's the
Everyone has
booster
seen the
shot.
light. You've saved their souls.
No, I mean, news alert, but we all kind of like each other outside of this show, and we're like, what's that word? Friends. And Tom started talking about it in the streams and the update and like in our text messages, and I was like, I want to hang out with my friends. I want to play, and it's Commander's cool. I'd never even heard of it.
Yeah.
And so when you all started talking about it, I was like, I might prefer it above, like, in terms of like just the way a game plays. Like,
friendly and casual form of Magic there is. By far.
Yeah.
Depending on what level you're playing at, right?
And I think also the thing I liked about it the most is just that the way it was sold to me was like it is a wonderful extension of your personality. And so the game you play is the deck plays how you are. So like that's where
Definitely
the
when you're
customization
getting
comes.
started, yeah.
Well, like I mean, if you want to win, sure, but then if you just want to have fun and have your deck do your thing, like
No, I just mean eventually you kind of branch out and you're like, I kind of want to try a little of everything.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
that is if like, you know, there's two types of players, right? People who are used to Magic and people who are not used to Magic.
Yeah.
And so there's people like me who's like, here's a precon, you're fitting into this box, and you're like, okay. And then you're like, what do you like to do? It's like, I like to do this, and it's like, cool, get this card that does that. And you're like, oh, okay. And then as you figure out like what colors you like, and then all of a sudden you figure out like how your deck wants to play, then you're like, okay, but I want it to do like this. You just get more and more honed into like, okay, how can I make these cards be an extension of me instead of me bending to the cards will? And then that's when like the true Magic hence comes from of like, oh, I mean, this is me.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is it's like because I'm so new. I mean, I played like MTG Arena. I played Arena a bunch during the pandemic. Yeah, the different format. It's a different style. And so it's like base level. I'm like, this is interesting. This is cool. This is fun. But it is for somebody who's just starting off, and also it's that old adage of like when you're an adult, it's quote harder to learn things. So it's like even just time basis, like the time that you have to put into things, and you're like, well, I still got to do the laundry or whatever, you know, those adult blah blah blah. Anyway, so it was very hard to like really dig in. And Commander, it's like, I'm not saying that it doesn't fall into the same rules, but it's like, I don't know, I just found it to be
more approachable.
Yeah, it's a little bit more approachable. But I mean, the in terms of the colors and the play styles, it's like I'm so new that it's like, you know what, I have one Commander deck, it's red green, and I'm just gonna play that for now, so I can learn that, and I can go, oh, okay, I see how this plays out, and I see what I need to do, and then.
It's all right, Josh. I'm already building your second deck for you. I got a whole idea
Yay!
built out for you.
I love it. I love it.
It's a Bant deck. It's a lot of fun. I'll send the list over to you. It'll be good.
Bant is a color combination.
Yeah, it's blue, green, and white, and it's
wow.
Big guys, fast guys, stop your guys.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Big beefy wall boys who can attack.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been nice to have a community of Magic again. It's something I really loved when I was living back up north. Shout out to Nate. We used to go every Friday to our local spot, Blue Moon Comics in San Rafael, and play Magic. So when I was like, you know, I started playing when I was like 12, 13, around, you know, early teenagers. And then by the time I was like 18, 19, 20, we were doing some tournaments and stuff like that. So it's something I really missed. And I always like stayed in it because I would still play it when I'd go up north.
Question.
You know, but yeah.
Because you've always been like the Magic guy to me, but like, I feel like over the past few months, was it like daddy duty when you were just kind of like waiting there? Like, sometimes it's hurry up and wait when you're a dad, it sounds like. And
I've done more.
Yeah, it seems like
started
you've
during
been
the
doing a
pandemic,
lot more, you know?
I picked it up more during the pandemic, and I ended up building my Kalia deck during the pandemic because I was like, I'm just fucking indoors all the time. I want to build a Magic deck. And then I had this commander deck for like a year and a half until Tom was finally like, I play Magic. And then I built one more deck. Yeah. And then I pulled all of my cards. I have 5 boxes of Magic cards, not including my binders. So I started going through all those and I built a bunch of decks. And like I landed on Brea as my absolute favorite because I've always loved artifacts. And now I have,
Tom is shaking
Imagine
his head.
Dragons. What, you don't like Brea? Tom doesn't like Brea.
I hate Brea. I only like when Brea is not used against me. Other than that, I just feel like, all right, fine.
You
How
like
about
to
you
watch it do its thing, but not against you.
Not against you. Like the moment me and Corey can play together, and he plays, I was like, cool. I'm playing my other artifact deck then because I'm not going to get screwed over with your artifact like protection
The
stuff.
thing about Brea that Tom doesn't like is that it is artifact protection, but it's also Brea is a combo queen. So like she'll be doing nothing. I'll have 2 cards on the battlefield and then I'll put a third one down and be like, all right, I go infinite. And he's like, what the why? It comes out of nowhere. And it's not, I don't run a lot of tutors. So if I come across it, it happens, but it's in there and she's a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun, but the dragon one is good.
It is fun to, my current commander deck, it's mainly like dragons. And while I was like starting to upgrade it, there were a couple of times where I just ran into like card combinations that I was like, wait a minute, that could be a real problem.
I play a lot of solitaire. Like that's what I do in these nights when I'm like, hurry up and wait, watch the baby on the monitor, is I'm playing solitaire. I'm shuffling my deck. I'm counting turns until I hit a winning combo, or I'm counting turns until I have certain pieces, how long it takes. And a lot of the time doing that, you'll come across the like, oh, I didn't know it could do that. And so anyway, Magic has been a big one. It's been nice to find a community again, especially with friends like you guys involved in it. It makes it special.
Yeah, I got to shout out my boy Mark because he's the one that cracked the door for me on playing Commander, and really kind of Isaac. And they all are like,
played with Isaac.
Well, funny thing about Isaac, he's really good. He's a smart player, but he's also very much like, he's not into politics, and he's also very like, he doesn't enjoy the fact that like you could be the best player at the table, you won't win. Like he doesn't enjoy that factor of it, so like he doesn't play too often, but he'll play like with low power decks.
He used to play standard a lot, which is like
his draft is his thing.
Yeah.
So, but because of them, and then another guy, Nick, we all started playing, and then Isaac bought them all pre-cons, and so I was like, all right, I'll play. I was like, what should I play? And they're like, play zombies. And I was like, all right, whatever. I was like, I don't know why I'm zombies. I just said, I want something evil, the most evil thing possible. They're like zombies. I'm like, that's not evil. That's like the little boys. Who cares? And I started playing with them, and the thing is, I end up finding out, like, as you can keep going, you're like, oh, I can just make a bajillion dudes and make a bajillion mana. And it's like, that's the fun thing. And then it evolved into a vampire, then a Nicol Bolas, and all these other things. But yeah, I think the thing I enjoyed the most about it, and the thing that why I want to commit homicide to a random person on the street, because Corey, when he plays Brea, it feels like, all right, cool. It's turn 5. I'm going to be able to play my commander. He's already won. It's like, I hate that. It's like, and that's the thing about Magic the Gathering for me.
But then you have nights like the other night where I couldn't do anything at all game.
Well, yeah, because
everyone could play, and then
because everyone knows the power of your commander. It just all depends on your power level, right? Yeah. And that's the thing.
Everybody left me alone until I was like, I can play, and they were like, and now you die. And I was like, oh.
and that's the thing. So it all matters, and that's the thing about Commander. It's Mario Party, right? Like. It doesn't matter how good you are. It doesn't matter how many games you win. There's randomness involved, and you may not get good draws. Someone might just hone in on you and just like
bringing Mario Party back into this, huh? I won that fair and square. I had more stars regardless of the bonus stars.
Wow, bitch, we watched that anyway. So like, if you start popping off real quick, people are going to start kneecapping you, and then you feel like you're out of the game. And then it's interesting because the game could just ebb and flow, and then the one who never pops off first is always the one that wins, because they're just like secretly nesting and harboring and growing.
The first time that I upgraded, the first time I played the deck, it was great. Tom was the one that broke it in, and then I upgraded it, and I played my friend Buzz, and like the first time I played it, I just got really, really lucky, and I was just like, I had great mana, everything, and it was like there was a point where my playmat was just full of creatures, and we just kept going because he's like, that is so lethal, but let's just see what happens, like. And it was just like, it's fun when things like work out. And then there are times where you're like, I got nothing.
Off too, which is what nice about Commander is like, even when I lose, like we were playing our buddy Mark the other night, and he had this crazy janky, every deck is 20, every card in it's 20 years plus old. And it just popped off in a way that was like really cool to see. Like it was just, I got my ass handed to me. But it was at the same time, it's like, but that was really special to watch.
Yeah, if you're getting into Magic, everyone, don't walk in thinking you're gonna win. That's a terrible.
You're gonna lose most of the time.
Yeah, that's a terrible way to come into Commander for sure. And then also the point of Commander is just to have fun. And I think the thing is with most people that you get fun when they feel like their deck did the thing, even if they won or not.
Yeah,
like
that's how I go in. I'm like, if I could deck can just do the thing. Like I lost with my Brea deck, but at one point I had 30 cards in my hand. I had 10 treasure tokens. Like I was like, I did the thing I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So
value.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, that's been a recent thing. I was like making some notes. Like I was just kind of like, because when we're
I just
not
wanted to start off with something we can all
definitely
together.
When we're not doing episodes, it's like I had to like think back of like, what have I been like, what has been the thing? I mean, I think like I started making a list of like TV shows, not a lot of movies. There's a couple that I can like shout out that I was like, oh baby. I mean, but games I think was probably the main thing. And there was a movement because I've been trying not to buy, just for financial reasons, not buy any more video games. So there was like, it went from Elden Ring to WoW Classic. That was one that I was like, okay, fine, I'll give into it. My cousin was like, hey man, I'm going to disappear when this new thing comes out. So
Wrath of the Lich King.
Yeah, Wrath of the Lich King. And I was like, okay, well,
best expansion ever made.
He's the person that I want to play with. So, okay, I'll do it. And I'll start a character. And I started a hunter and played it a long time. And then I got to be perfectly honest, and I don't mean to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. I just got really, really bored with the game because of just the travel, the way that travel works, the mechanic
in Classic.
In Classic, just I had a really hard time.
See, I don't want to shit on Classic because I think it's cool, but like there are one of the reasons I didn't get back in. I played some because I had to play it to get a mount in retail, but like just the quality of life. Like there's a lot of quality of life upgrades that they've made to the game since then that are just like Raid Finder and Dungeon Finder came out in Wrath of the Lich King, but even since then it's been improved, and there's like custom group find. It's like I get it. There would be times playing. We were just talking about this the other night. I was playing with my buddy Dustin, and we used to have an add-on that would tell us how long the flight path was going to take that we were about to do. It would be like,
I have that. Yeah.
Okay. So somebody's like 40 minutes to fly somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll go cook dinner while I fly over there for this quest. It's ridiculous.
And I like you'd have to like group your quests. You're like, okay, I did start using this. We were using this like kind of leveling guide to go, okay, we're going to go to this area. Oh man, it's on the other continent. Oh sweet, my Hearthstone is there. You know, it's like, okay, you have to like, you're putting your Hearthstone in a certain thing, and it's like, no, I don't want to shit on it because I know that it's, for some people it's their bread and butter. It's that's the
Classic.
only WoW that exists is Classic.
Yeah.
And it's like,
but
it is
just
fun.
Put it this way. In the retail version, there is in each location there is a portal room. Imagine portals. It's portals to every single place, every main continent in all of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, that's
and you
wild.
can get there instantly.
That's wild.
Like stuff like that. It's just like, I would miss that.
Yeah. And then it moved to Fallout New Vegas, which was new for me. But
did you beat it?
I haven't, because I've been doing the DLCs for the stream and whatnot. But I'm at the point where it's like I can make a decision that will make or break my playthrough. It just basically, I'm now at the place where the game is giving me a notification that says yo, there is no going back. Once you select what you do here, you have decided your path.
Oh yeah.
And then Back for Blood had a new expansion, and then they updated because they want to fix things, and then they put it right back to where the difficulties are unbalanced. I at least got the platinum for that, so that was cool.
There you go.
And now
There
I'm
you
in
go.
limbo, and I'm playing Demon's Souls, which I didn't know it was Demon's Souls. I didn't know that it was Demon's
Plural. Multiple demons, souls.
Yeah, it was like you own those souls, which is, after playing Elden Ring, which I kind of like the my own experience of playing from games. It's like, oh, I had Elden Ring, and now I'm going back and like playing. It's interesting. It's
very different though.
It's you can tell that there's different mechanics, and like I saw like kind of like this one had this mechanic and blah blah blah, and it's cool. I like it. It's a beautiful game. It's the PS5 remake, and it's beautiful. It's fun, but I've posted a couple of screenshots in our Discord that's just like, really? I'm level 1 or like level 9.
Baby.
I'm a level 9 thief. That there is a dragon.
And that's the thing. That's the beauty about From Software games is that they're constantly being like, look how difficult this is. When you beat this, you will have a true sense of accomplishment because it's all insurmountable odds versus like, oh, this is hard. Let me go grind the piece of shit like enemy for like 20 minutes and now I could just one-shot the boss. This is like, oh, man, everything's hard. I just beat the boss and now the area like enemies are like evil. It's like, this
I'm
is
on
ridiculous.
the second boss of Demon's Souls. The second boss. The first one I was like, this is kind of stupid easy. This is weird. Okay. All right.
The false
I beat
ideals.
it, and then I get to the next area, and I died so many times.
And that's when the French.
And then I got nobody
French
expects the Spanish
champagne.
Inquisition. And then I got into the boss arena, and it's this massive knight, this tower knight, demolish me within walking into it. And he has a whole bunch of archers around his arena, and now I'm looking up. That's the thing about like when I was playing Elden Ring, I don't know if I've done that much. Sans like Fallout 76 and Back for Blood, like so much research. Like, okay, all right, so this is what I gotta. It's like, okay, so this is what I gotta do. Okay, this is still gonna be hard, but this is what I gotta do. All right, I talked about video games. I've got a whole list of stuff. I think we should go around the room.
Tom?
If he talked about video games, I'll talk about some shows.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's not like we're all picking different things, but I really delved into shows, and I was kind of like, I'm gonna like. Actually, I was trying to challenge myself this year and being like, I'm gonna watch so many shows and so many movies this year. I think right now I'm at like 4 movies a week per average.
Wow,
That's a lot.
It's a lot, and it was actually kind of hard, but I did some of them on weekends where it's like, I'm gonna watch 4 movies today. Just like, all right, I'm gonna blast through them. And a lot of them were just like older Japanese animated films, and that I was like, I haven't watched this. These are classics. And for TV shows though, I stuck to animation. I was just like, I kind of just went into this like, I haven't watched a lot of shows, and I feel like everyone slowly around me is like starting to be like, fuck movies and all about TV shows, and I'm like. But I love TV. I love movies.
What's interesting is because I just to comment on that when you were talking about movies, it's like I know that I've watched a fair bit of movies over the past like 7 months, but I could only. There were some that I put on there that it's like, oh, that came out and I saw it, and then there are some movies that like I was like, there are only 3 on this list that were notable that I was like, I remember that I watched that and I was like, wow, that is a good movie. You know what I mean?
And
where it's like. There's not a lot of movies nowadays like that.
And I think there's something to that too, where especially when you're like cognizant and you're definitely just trying to be aware of like, what am I going to watch and what am I like going to get out of it? And then you look back and you're like, oh my God, like I don't remember feeling really anything or remembering anything about it. Cause I have a letterbox now, and I definitely kept track of like films that came out this year that I've watched, and then films I just watched this year, totality.
Interesting.
And
Gotcha.
bar none, like, most of the films that are like on my top rated are not from this year. And I'll have to add a new entry after yesterday, but With shows, I really kind of, I broke in with like some Arcane, Succession, binged through the first, all the seasons, caught up. And I got into some Witcher, and then of course there was House of Dragons, Rings of Power, which I've not finished. Rings of Power, Corey, don't ask me.
I wasn't going
I'm
to.
sorry, senpai. Don't. Sorry. But the one show that really hit me and really touched me, actually, two shows in particular. And one I've had, you could hear conversations with me and Amy from the Capes Crusaders. We talked so much about Steven Universe, and it's a Cartoon Network animated show created by Rebecca Sugar, and it hit me at a time in a place that I just did not expect it to hit me in that way. Because I was like, I never was about the art style. I thought, I was like, I don't want to see this chubby boy in this cartoon. Like, I like Chowder, and I'm not a fan of stupid characters unless they're next to like Eddie from Ed, Ed and Eddie, and you have Ed, who's like
the extreme example of what a dumb character is.
Yeah, and Steven Universe to me looks like he's a dumb character, and then like he's actually not intelligent. And then I watched the show, I was like, oh, he's just a boy, he's just a whatever. And I was like, okay, what's up with all these girls? And I was like, oh, okay, they're gems. Like, why are they gems? And then you just keep going, and as Corey will say, like the credit will all go to Misadventures of Flapjack, like that lull, that false sense of like, this is just a show to you watch, and then it's gonna,
and then you're like, emotions,
and then all of a sudden it's like, emotions? Are they, whoa, I was not expecting you guys to start doing that stuff. And so there's Steven Universe, and they have the Steven Universe movie, and then they have the final spin-off show, which is Steven Future. It's a great show, and I just recommend so many people at every age to watch it. It's one of those like Avatar: The Last Airbender level of like, oh, you think it's a kid show, but they actually really go into like really good messaging.
Yeah.
And then the second show, which is, I do not recommend any persons under the age of like 12 to watch. You could probably watch it if you're 13 and above. We had Adult Swim. We were seeing some Cowboy Bebop.
Curious as to where this is going.
Oh, Primal. Gendy Tartakovsky's Primal on Adult Swim.
Like 12.
Yeah, I'd say you could watch it. It's very violent. There's blood. People are getting cut. There's throats being slit. Guts.
Just
you're seeing
about what I used to watch when I was like 10. I was like,
yeah, they'll be fine. Yeah, I was gonna say Adult Swim was around. Family Guy was around. They were talking about much crazier things. Celebrity Deathmatch was around when I was like 10 and 11. But like
to watch that a lot.
And Gendy Tartakovsky's Primal, I would say, like, I think that might be one of the crowning achievements of like this year. I think of like just art or entertainment in general, because the thing, if you've listened to this show long enough and you know who I am, then like you kind of know that I can scoff at someone's witty dialogue, but if you could just kind of move me in a way that how Pixar animated films, the film before the film, the little short film that has no dialogue, moves somebody. People talk about Up and that opening sequence, how it just translates so much meaning without even a word of dialogue.
Yeah,
that stuff, but about violence and about revenge and about survival in prehistoric times. It was just like, oh my god, this is the most primal thing. You're just like,
yeah.
Oh
somebody else told me about it, that they were like, yeah, you need to be watching this.
I think Chris Evans tweeted about it.
Oh, so good, so good.
And it was like, dude, late to the party, but primal. Whoa.
Yeah, Gendy Tartakovsky, I think, I think co-creator of the Powerpuff Girls with Craig McCracken, and Dexter's Laboratory, and
Samurai Jack,
Samurai Jack, and then the original Clone Wars animated series.
Which, for those of you at home who didn't know, fun fact: if you're watching Samurai Jack, there's actually a lot of references to Powerpuff Girls in there, implying that this is like the post-apocalyptic same universe. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really cool. It's really really cool. I want to watch Samurai Jack again now.
Samurai Jack, baby. But yeah, I would say, Steven Universe and Primal have definitely been buttering my biscuit. And right now I'm kind of going through Adventure Time again and watching that, because I was just like, man, these gems of like cartoon network stuff. I've just been really enjoying. But Corey.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of things. Being a new papa, I don't get to go out much. I don't get to go to movie theaters, but I do want to talk about a specific movie that Tom very kindly came over to watch with me, and I promised I would wait to watch with him, which is probably the best movie I've seen. I'll say this, at least in the last 10 years, if not like top 3 movies of all time, which it is. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Yeah, it's on my list of notable movies.
Yeah, I approached this list thinking like, for this episode, of what are the things I want to do episodes on, and this was like number 1
with the bullet.
I don't want to go into it too much for those of you who haven't seen it, and also for, I'm sure, the episode that's gonna happen eventually here. But it is.
It's the number 1 movie that I listed under what movies. I was like,
of course,
boom.
It should be everyone's number 1 movie right now, especially. It's a movie that accomplished more than it had any right to accomplish in one movie, and it has the people in it giving everything they have for this film. Everyone involved in this movie hit every single mark, and then like 4 marks past that one. I think it should be talked about more. I know it did really well, and I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, it's hard not to like want to just like it. Yeah, it was just a movie that like I remember. It was a night that Bonnie and I were like, let's be crazy. Let's go see 2 movies. And we saw that first one, and that was the first movie that we saw. We saw that first, and we had some time before our next movie, and we were going to go get dinner, and we were just sitting there walking to the restaurant going, that was so good.
Yeah.
Everything about it.
If you're on the fence about it, I want to put it this way. What's your favorite genre movie? Because it's that.
I want to mention something about Corey's story, because he, very much put me on this pedestal of like, oh, he waited to watch it with me. The funny thing is, Corey was the one that introduced me to the movie, because I saw the thumbnail on YouTube when the trailer came out. Yeah. And I was like, whatever.
I messed up with the Meg, so I wanted to make sure it's put out there that I did wait to watch it with you. There were plenty of time. I was at home, and Dana's fan was like, we should watch this. I was like, I can't. I have to watch this with Tom.
and well, the funny thing is, so like he was like, oh, I'm gonna watch with Tom. And I remember when he first like, oh, we should watch this. And I was kind of like, I think like crestfallen about the film industry at that point when I saw the trailer. I was like, yeah, it could be good, but it's not gonna make any money. No one's gonna care about it because everyone just cares about freaking franchises and IPs nowadays. But then I had like, I hate to have this chip on my shoulder. I had the greatest experience watching it because I went on a limb. It was a day at work, and someone on my Twitter who's a critic was like, hey, there's some screenings to watch. It's at Universal City Walk, and Ke Kwan's going to be there. I was like, oh, okay, sure, I'll go. It's like, do we have anything to do?
He's from Goonies. He took a break from acting, and he's back.
And he was going to be there with the producer. I was like, all right, cool. And I just went on a random whim on a Wednesday night, and I watched it, and it was an IMAX. I was like, all right, cool. And then Jamie Lee Curtis was there, and she was like introducing the film, and she had a certain prop very prominent in the film, and she tore up an IRS paper and all that stuff. It was this like big, huge celebration thing. The movie ends, everyone's crying, I'm crying, you're crying. The gay couple next to me is crying, I'm crying with them. Your mom's crying, my dad's crying. And then Ke Kwan talks about like how Michelle Yeoh couldn't be there because she had COVID, because everyone saw because she posted it on Instagram, and actually that was a delayed post because she actually had gotten past it, tested positive, and then she showed up, and then she just like walked through the crowd.
Tested negative and showed up.
Yeah, tested negative. Yeah. So she tested out. She tested out of it, and she just showed up, and everyone started crying some more. And then the first thing she said was like, this is why we come here. This is why we come to the movies. This is why we make movies, is for these emotions and these moments. And like Ke Kwan,
is that like, AMC commercial, like all of a sudden?
Just Nicole Kidman, we clapping. And Ke Kwan is just like the ultimate human being, where he's just like, our superhero power is to be kind. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what? This was like up in early February, maybe like March, but like
he's a mensch. And then of course the viral video of him calling out to his Goonie brother Corey Feldman in the audience, like,
oh yeah, no. And then the person who hosted the event was Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things. And funny. So like he looks at him, he's like,
That's
hey,
awesome.
We're having like a Stranger Things Goonies thing. I was like, wow. So
they are this generation's Goonies.
So it was wild.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
wonderful,
I would
beautiful
say
movie.
that movie really I mean, I didn't even, I bought it before I watched it, because I just was like, I just want to support the hell out of it. And then, yeah, I'll say that'll be my big thing, was that film really was like changed how I approach a lot of things. Like it, you know, it made me go from thinking certain things can't be done to going, hey, maybe it can, maybe that can be done. So that was my big one, and a lot. I mean, I caught up on a lot of other movies I wanted to watch for a long while. Like nothing near as good, but I finally saw The Gentleman, which was a lot of fun. Which Tom, you gotta watch. You'll love it.
It's good.
Did you see it, Josh?
Yeah.
You see every movie.
That's
a lot of fun.
It's,
A lot of fun movie.
Yeah, it's good.
But yeah, I TV shows, Rings of Power. I mean, yeah. Rings of Power. Come on.
TV shows, I realized that my list was like going on and on, because Bonnie and I, we tend to watch a lot of TV. That's kind of like what we will do together. Movies, it's hard to, it has to be like really intriguing for us to like pick a movie to watch sometimes. And but like shows, there was a lot of like returns. We had like Peaky Blinders season 6.
Still haven't got to watch it yet.
The Boys season 3, Stranger Things season 4, Only Murders in the Building, Hacks season 2 came out.
My wife and I have been watching Bob's Burgers for the first time ever.
Nice.
Shout out to Neil.
What was the show? So I did, while you were talking about like notable, like Everything Everywhere All at Once, the other one that went on my list of notable, and I was really surprised. I was just really surprised that I liked it so much. Not surprised, but I was just like, so like a few months ago, the internet was going nuts about this movie. It was posted to Netflix, and everybody was going nuts about it. And then our Discord started popping off about it, and then my cousin started popping off about it. He's like, you really got to watch this. It's like 3 hours long, and it's this and this, and it's like really good. It's like the hype was insane, and
bigger hype than Endgame hype.
It was like the hype was real for something I had never heard of. And I have a really bad habit. I know this about myself. I am working on it. I swear. I have a really bad habit of when something is really hyped, I will put it off. Like, it's just like I'm like, anyway, it's a long, boring story. RRR. On Netflix. Mm-hmm. I started watching it, and it was my first like good Bollywood movie too. Like our favorite mom and pop Indian shop just down the street from us, they would play Bollywood movies on the TV, so it's just kind of like background noise. But this is my first time like sitting down and watching something, and so I don't know what to expect of structure. I don't know what to expect of it at all, and it was just like, we did watch it in a couple of sittings because we were like, well, let's watch this. Everybody's like talking about this. Let's watch this. And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is. I got done with it, and I was like, holy shit. This is so much. This is so good. There were so many things that you were just like, this is so much. There were so many, like, there were some action scenes that I was like, oh, you guys are fun. You guys are fun.
It was fun.
It was fun. That's the thing, is like watching it, I was like, this is so fun. Some things are so cheesy, but I really don't care. This is so much fun. This is like, it was just a fun movie, and it's not like, I was like, wow, that was fun.
Go check those 2 movies out if you got time.
Yeah.
How much time we have? Because I know we got a little bit of announcements at the end, but do we share some more things, or do we leave it up to the...
Like, I can just like talk about some TV. I mean, I don't need to go into full.
Kenobi.
Yeah.
No one wants to talk about Bobby Fett.
Kenobi. No,
I don't need to.
Thank you. No, thank you. Sorry. No, thank you.
Some surprises for me were like A League of Their Own was really like surprisingly good. Bonnie and I, again, one of those like on a whim, we'll watch it, and we were like, wow, it's one of those ones that came out every week that we were like, ooh, we have one of those. Bad Sisters on Apple TV.
But wait, I wanted to talk about Kenobi for a sec, for real, because this is a show. Y'all watched it?
Yeah, I did.
Y'all watched it. This is a show that was supposed to be a movie, and then Disney went, make it a series, and they went, we'll do our best.
Money.
And while you can definitely, from watching it from start to finish, see like where the movie was within it all and be like, this would have been a killer movie. It was still a really good show. I think it's still, I haven't got a chance to watch Andor yet, but from what I've seen, my personal viewing of the Star Wars extended universe, it's been probably one of my favorite shows on Disney Plus for a while. The ending alone made me weep. It made me weep. And I thought they paid a lot of great tribute to a few people we've lost within that universe as well. But it's they're talking about maybe doing it. Everyone wants to come back for a season 2, and my hopes for it are, if everyone who was involved, it has to have Deborah Chow, it has to have a lot of people behind the scenes moving certain parts around. But if they want to come back and they write it with the intention of it being a series and not changing a movie to fit 6 episodes, 6 hours, stretching 2 hours worth of material in 6 hours, I'm really hoping it could be something really neat, because I think there's still a lot of time to be explored, right? Like we still got a lot of time before Kenobi's where he is in A New Hope. So
I love the argument when that show was coming out and somebody was like, how does he go from this to this? And I think somebody went, has anybody ever compared a picture of Barack Obama when he was first elected to when
8 years?
8 years of what he looked like? Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's got 9.5 years to go.
And there's 2 suns on that planet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of
twice the UV.
Yeah,
that's a lot of skin damage. Let's just say.
I thought that was a special thing to hit Disney Plus finally.
Yeah.
I mean, as a Obi-Wan fan, thank you.
Yeah.
Josh, you mentioned The Boys, and probably my favorite cape shit, this year. Because
this season in particular was quite fun.
Yeah, it just wanted it to be about something. It had something to say, and wasn't trying to sell me a toy or an entire cinematic universe or a franchise or make $1 bajillion, or else it wasn't going to make its metrics and get a sequel. It was just like, be good. And I was like,
just be good.
I'm here for this. And they played a lot of, really. That's the thing where it's like, I think a lot of pop culture things currently, I've been just so kind of I don't know how to say, but like it's
jaded.
Jaded. I don't know. It's like it's not fallen out of love with, but it's more like I just see the strings or the seams so overtly, egregiously. Where like The Boys, I feel like they do the dance so well. They do the dance of like, I'm talking about the meta stuff now, and you're like, wow. They don't even have to be like, and now here's Kanye in this. And you're like, why did we bring Kanye in this for no reason? Versus like they're gonna be like, Bill Cosby, that's America's dad. And it's like, that's a lot to unpack with that. Like I was like, that's so good. That's so good. And it's just like that kind of stuff where it's like, wow. It's like
you liked Loki though?
I like Loki a lot. Was that 2022?
No.
I think because I was doing
I thought it was,
maybe I was late.
I think you were late. I think it was WandaVision in 2021, and then it was Falcon Man and Winter Man.
I think She-Hulk and Miss Marvel were. I mean, for me personally, I really enjoyed them.
I haven't watched them.
I think I'm in the same, and I think we've talked about this on the update, where there's a certain jadedness when it comes to specifically Disney Plus television things, like and that's why like things like Obi-Wan Kenobi and like She-Hulk for me, like they're like breaths of fresh air, where it's kind of like, ooh, okay, all right, this is one of those notable things for me, where it's like I remember. Because there's so much media to consume. We've talked about like consuming versus like, enjoying or just like being into. And sometimes it's like media is just like being consumed. It's just there, and I'm eating it, and I don't even know what I'm eating. And then some things I'm like, whoa, this tastes really good. I like the mouthfeel.
I like the taste of everything. Everywhere.
The idea for consuming media for me has become that feeling what people would say about like, unfortunately, the kind of food that like Asian cuisine's more used to, like the soft mouth feel, and it feels like you're just eating slop. And it's like that's what it feels like when I just watch nothing but pop culture stuff that just like feels like they all blend together and they have there's no risk, there's nothing on the line. It's just part of the production line process. And that's why I think Everything Everywhere at Once hit so hard for me. And I think there's part of it that hit all of us as hosts. That it was just like, this is a risky movie and it's trying to do a lot and it's trying to say a lot and it's doing a lot and it's combining a lot of things. And you're just like, but it's also hitting those things in such a genuine way without having to be like lip servicey, like, what do we do about racism? Well, we have to do better. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
That's not a message. That's a piece of shit.
Despite
Hallmark
what you
card.
think, that is not a message.
Like in Everything All at Once, like there is times where people are let go of and then they regret that and then they have to fight those feelings. And there are these kind of conversations that happen about like the generations and how we affect each other. I was like, oh my god, like how did you do this? I think of
and
Obadiah,
be so visually stunning and just
it's Obadiah Stane meme. It's like he built this in a cave.
I like that we've just turned this into our pseudo Everything Everywhere All at Once episode. I feel like that might have to be the next time you hear from us might be that kind of episode.
Real quick,
I don't know how we can keep dancing around it without spoiling.
My only other thing that I would mention before we segue into the next part of the show, and I had this in all caps that I needed to mention this show because I didn't know about it. Bonnie was like, "No, you got to watch this," and I didn't know that it was
Drag Race.
No,
I was like butthole rings.
Dairy Girls on Netflix.
Oh, dude!
I hadn't known about I had seen it and it's right up my alley, but Bonnie had watched it and she was like, the new season had just come out, the last season, and watched the entire series in a day. It's just like, and cried several times and laughed so hard.
Yeah.
It's so good. That's one of those shows that you go,
such a pleasing accent to the ears for comedy.
Yeah.
Much like Monty Python, their accents.
I will tell people, you'll want to put on the subtitles because there's some parts where you're just like, ooh baby, that accent is thick.
That and Peaky Blinders. Put the subtitles on.
Put the subtitles on.
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky fucking Blinders.
Do you want to move on to the next part of the show?
Yeah, we could keep going. I mean, there's so many
we
things,
can.
guys.
We do holistical. I want to hear what our audience has been up to. Put on the comments of wherever you put this, wherever you can put
if you're
comments.
in the Discord, speaking of which, join that Discord, nerdon.tv/Discord. I mean, that is that is basically the best way to keep in contact with us. And we bring this up because we, the next phase of Nerd On is, asking you, what is it that you want to see or hear us talk about? Sending in those things. We do have a couple of shows that we will say that are in the can that were recorded pre-stopping, and we made the decision at that time to not release them. And we almost just release them without any pomp and circumstance, but we really respect the guests that they are with and would love it for you all to hear what they have to say. It is a part of our Nerds Explain series. So those will be coming out in the near future. Be aware of that.
I will jump on and say the Discord's the best way to communicate with us and actually have a conversation. But if you comment and then you do the rating and then you also mention it, that does help the show actually grow. Yeah. Because that engagement shows all the algorithm gods what we do and that we're doing it well. So as much as we don't give a shit about that, just do it. Just
the
fucking
podcasts
do it.
Are used to be not as much, but podcasts now are definitely up for the algorithm gods. With YouTube, with Apple Podcasts, with even Google search engines. It's the algorithms and SEO, and we can only do so much. So asking the support of our listeners, rate, review, share with your friends, your families, your enemies, because
especially
your enemies.
Even if you just spam them and say hey, just comment one time for the squad.
I want to make a special the Nerd On Nation. You know who you are. They stayed with us through this hiatus, and a huge shout out to the Nerd On Nation that is powered by Patreon. Do consider joining that. There are several bonuses, and we're going to be going through and reassessing and changing bonuses in the near future. But there are secret channels in our Discord server that are private to only the nation that you can talk. You can have like some serious conversations with, like, we've had some personal conversations in just those channels, and we share some bits, not like naked bits or anything like that, but
I wish.
I mean,
consensually though. Consensually.
Nerd.tv /OnlyFan. No, I'm just kidding.
Only flans.
Only flan. So check out and consider joining that Nerd On Nation, nerdon.tv /Patreon. If you're new to Nerd On, wow. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to you of us welcoming back ourselves. That makes sense.
Come
right?
along.
Come
Take my
along.
hand. Let's go to Dragonland.
It's a new phase of the Nerd On journey, but know that we have not gone anywhere. We're not going anywhere. If you want to check out more of our episodes, there are literally hundreds of episodes on our website, nerdon.tv. And there is our Twitch channel, which we're actually pretty active on these days. We've got the Nerd On update that goes there. We have Tom streams, I stream. Corey,
we all stream for ice.
Yeah.
Phrase.
I stream, you stream, we all stream for stream, something like that. I don't know. We'll work on it. We'll workshop that. But yeah, thank you so much for listening if you're on the podcast apps, for watching if you're on YouTube.
Happy birthday if it's your birthday today.
Yeah, happy Christmas if you're listening to this on Christmas. Like, we could just go on. There's so many happies.
Yeah, baby.
Take care of yourselves. Drink water.
I need
Love
to drink more
yourself.
water for sure.
Love yourself.
Be kind to yourself.
Exactly. And as always, you know the drill. As always, Nerd On.
Nerd on.